Alrighty, folks. I'm back. Live on TikTok as well. So, bye. I'm back for another episode of the Success Principles. Find ourselves in part 5, Success and Money. There's the science of getting rich, and it is an exact science, like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws which govern the process of acquiring riches. Once these laws are learned and obeyed by anyone, that person will get rich with mathematical certainty. That was Wallace D. Wattles, author of The Science of Getting Rich. We find ourselves in Principle 56. Develop a positive money consciousness. There is a secret psychology to money. Most people don't know about it. That's why most people never become financially successful. Lack of money is not the problem. It is merely a symptom of what's going on inside you. That's T. Harv Eker, multimillionaire and author of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Like everything else I've discussed in this book, financial success also starts in the mind. You have to first decide what you want. Next, you have to believe it's possible and that you deserve it. Then you must focus on it by thinking about it and visualizing it as if it were already yours. Finally, you have to be willing to pay the price to get it, with disciplined effort and perseverance over time. But most people never even get to the first stages of accumulating wealth. Too often, they are limited by their own beliefs about money and by the question of whether or not they deserve it. Identify your limiting beliefs about money. To become wealthy, you'll need to surface, identify, root out, and replace any negative or limiting beliefs you may have about money. Though it may seem odd that anyone would have a negative predisposition toward wealth, we often have limiting beliefs buried deep in our subconscious that we picked up in our childhood. Perhaps when you were young, you heard phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees. There's not enough money to go around. It's selfish to want a lot of money. You have to have money to make money. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. You have to work too hard to get money. Money is the root of all evil. People with money are evil, selfish, and unethical. Rich people are greedy and dishonest. Can't buy happiness. The more money you have, the more problems you have. If you are rich, you can't be spiritual. These messages from early childhood can actually sabotage and dilute your later financial success because they subconsciously emit a vibration that can cancel out your conscious intentions. What did your parents, grandparents, teachers, religious leaders, friends, and coworkers teach you about money as you were growing up and as a young adult? My father taught me that rich people got rich by exploiting the working classes. He constantly told me he wasn't made of money, that money didn't grow on trees, and that money was hard to come by. One Christmas, my father decided to sell Christmas trees. He rented an empty lot, worked hard every night from Thanksgiving to Christmas Eve, and just broke even after a month of hard labor. As a family, we were left with the belief that no matter how hard you work, you never get ahead. Wealth brings pain and misery. There are many other limiting decisions you can make about money that can keep you from making or enjoying the amount of money you deserve or want. For example, Anne was in her mid-30s when she attended one of my seminars in Australia. She had inherited a lot of money, but she hated it. She was ashamed of her wealth, hid it, and wouldn't spend it. When the subject of money came up in the seminar, she began screaming about how money had destroyed her family. Her father, who had made a lot of money, was never home. He was either out working hard to make money or out jet-setting around the world spending it. As a result, her mother drank excessively, causing constant fighting and screaming in their household. Not surprisingly, Anne's childhood had been a miserable experience. But instead of identifying her father's greed and workaholism as the actual cause of her pain, Anne had decided as a child that money was the culprit. Because childhood decisions made during times of intense emotional upset tend to stay with us longer and actually grow stronger over time, Anne had retained her negative beliefs around money for more than 20 years. It's not okay to make more money than my father. Scott Schilling, a director of corporate training for ID Life in Dallas, Texas, was attending one of my seminars where we were working on identifying and releasing limiting beliefs. When I took the participants through a deep process to discover a limiting belief that might be keeping them stuck financially, Scott remembered the day he was 18 and had just finished his first month as a life insurance agent, earning a commission check of $1,856. His father, who was in his 46th year with the same insurance company and only 1 month away from retirement, received his own paycheck that day for $1,360. Scott said, "When I showed my check to my father, he never said a word, but the look on his face told me he was deeply hurt. I thought, how could I do that to my dad? How could I make such a great and noble man question himself and his value?" Scott had made a subconscious decision that day not to earn more money than his father, in order to avoid causing his father the shame and embarrassment Scott imagined he felt that day 25 years earlier. But less than a month after releasing this decision in my seminar, Scott told me he received a contract to do a week's worth of sales training for a fee equal to 1/5 of his previous year's total salary. Since then, Scott has gone on to become the national sales director for several companies, generating nearly $25 million in sales from the platform for one of them, and developing a training program for another one that grew their sales from $8 million to $100 million in 5.5 years. Becoming rich would violate the family code. I grew up in a working class family. Father was a florist and he worked for the rich. Somehow the rich were not to be trusted. They stepped on the little people. They took advantage of the common worker. To become rich would have meant becoming a traitor to my family and my class. I didn't want to become one of the bad guys. If I become wealthy, I will be a burden. Tom Boyer is a business consultant who felt like he had hit a plateau in terms of his income. With some brilliant assistance from my friend and trainer, Gay Hendricks, he discovered a childhood decision had put a cap on his success. Tom grew up in a middle-class family in Ohio. While they never wanted for food or basic necessities, his father made lots of financial sacrifices so that Tom could pursue his dream of playing the clarinet. While he started out playing his dad's old metal clarinet, Tom soon graduated to a LeBlanc, very middle-of-the-road wooden instrument. When he began to really excel, his clarinet teacher, Mrs. Zelinsky, went to Tom's parents and said, "Your son has real talent. He deserves a very, very fine instrument. He deserves a buffet clarinet." Hello, Ari. Hope you're having a good summer. He deserves a buffet clarinet. In 1964, a buffet cost $300, which is about $1,500 today. And though there was a lot of money in Tom's family, nevertheless, it was agreed that Mrs. Zelinsky would pick out the clarinet that was to be Tom's Christmas present. On Christmas morning, Tom went downstairs, unwrapped the package, opened the case, and discovered the beautiful clarinet with its polished grenadilla wooden body and bright shiny silver keys, sitting in its regal blue velvet case. It was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. When Tom turned to thank his parents, he didn't even get the thank you out of his mouth before his mom said, "We never would have been able to afford that if your sister had lived." Tom's sister Carol had suddenly died of encephalitis when he was 7 years old. At that moment, Tom took on the subconscious belief that the greater success he became, the greater burden he would have to be to those that loved him, not only financially, but also emotionally. With Gay Hendricks' help, Tom realized that his subconscious belief had held him back from attaining the level of success he consciously wanted. He had convicted himself of the crime of being a burden and was now punishing himself by not allowing himself the level of success he truly deserved. The present state of your bank account is nothing more than the physical manifestation of your previous thinking. If you sincerely wish to improve your results in the physical world, you must change your thoughts and you must change them immediately. That was Bob Proctor, author of The Power to Have It All and a featured teacher in the movie The Secret. 3 steps to turn around your limiting beliefs about money. You can change your childhood programming by using a simple yet powerful 3-step technique that replaces your limiting beliefs with more positive and empowering ones. While this exercise can be done on your own, it's usually more powerful and definitely more fun to do it with a partner or a small group of people. Number 1, write down your limiting belief. Money is the root of all evil. 2, challenge, make fun of, and argue with the limiting belief. You can do this by brainstorming a list of new beliefs that challenge the old ones. The more outrageous and fun you make them, the more powerful the resulting shift in your consciousness will be. Money is the root of all philanthropy. Money is the root of great vacations. Money might be the root of evil for someone who is evil, but I am a loving, generous, compassionate, and kind person who will always use money to create good in the world. You can write out your new money beliefs on 3x5 index cards and add them to your stack of affirmations to be read out loud with enthusiasm and passion every day. This daily discipline will go a long way toward helping you manifest success in the area of money. 3, create a positive turnaround statement. Create a new statement that is the opposite of the original belief. You want this turnaround statement to be one that sends shivers of delight through your body when you say it. Once you have it, walk around the room for a few moments repeating the new statement out loud with energy and passion. Repeat this new belief several times a day for a minimum of 30 days and it will be yours forever. Strong emotions actually facilitate the growth of thousands of new microscopic hair-like filaments on the ends of dendrites of the neurons in your brain. These little dendrite spiny protuberances actually create more connections in the brain that will support the installment of the new belief and the creative fulfillment of your new financial goals. It's not magic, it's brain science. For more information on the brain science that supports this from Doug Bench, a clearinghouse for the latest brain research, visit successprinciples.com/resources. Try one like, when it comes to me, money is the root of love, joy, and good works. Remember, ideas about financial success never form by themselves. You have to keep thinking the thoughts that build the thought form of prosperity. You have to take time each day and focus on thoughts of prosperity and images of financial success. When you intentionally focus on these thoughts and images, they will eventually crowd out the limiting thoughts and images that begin to dominate your thinking. If you want to accelerate reaching your financial goals, you need to practice saying positive money affirmations every day. Here are a few more that I've used with great success. God is my infinite supply, and large sums of money come to me quickly and easily for the highest good of all concerned. I now have more money than I need to do everything I want to do. Money comes to me in many unforeseen ways. I'm making positive choices about what to do with my money. Every day, my income increases whether I'm working, playing, or sleeping. All my investments are profitable. People love to pay me money for what I most love to do. Remember, you can plant any idea into the subconscious mind by repetition of thought infused with positive expectancy, and the intensely felt emotion associated with already having it. Use the power of releasing to accelerate your millionaire mindset. Whenever you're doing money affirmations, or any affirmation for that matter, it's not uncommon to become aware of competing thoughts, objections, such as, who are you kidding? You're never going to be rich. How many times do I have to tell you? You have to have money to make money. When this occurs, first write down the competing thought and any negative feelings it creates. Then you can close your eyes and release the thought and any negative emotions that accompany it using the Sedona method or tapping therapy. The Sedona method is a simple technique for releasing what's taught by Hale Dwoskin. I'm a big fan of this methodology and I teach it in my workshops. I also recommend you take a Sedona Method class, purchase the Sedona Method Home Study audio program, watch the movie Letting Go, or read Hale's book, The Sedona Method. We put a complete tutorial to the Sedona Method's basic questions at the Success Principles website. Scroll down to Principle 56 and click on the link. Visualize what you want as if you already have it. Remember to also include money in your daily visualizations. Seeing all your financial goals is already accomplished. The images that affirm your desired level of income, such as paychecks, rent checks, royalty checks, dividend statements, and people handing you cash. See images of your ideal bank statements, stock reports, and real estate portfolios. The images of the things you would be able to buy, do, and contribute to if you had already met all of your financial goals. Make sure to add the kinesthetic and olfactory dimensions to your visualization. Feel the smooth texture of the world's finest silk against your skin. Feel the relaxation of a luxurious massage in the world's finest spas. And smell the fragrance of your favorite cut flowers filling your home, or the delicate scent of your favorite imported perfume. Next, add in the auditory dimension, such as the sound of the surf on the beach in front of your vacation home, or the gentle hum of the finely tuned engine of your new Porsche. Finally, remember to add the feeling of appreciation and gratitude you would feel if you already had these things. This feeling of abundance is part of what will actually attract more abundance to you. This is a critical part of the process that people often leave out. Constantly fill your mind with images of what you want and picture yourself already having them. Make sure you also include your words and images of your financial goals on your vision board in pages 117 and 118. Another technique I found helpful in visualizing a wealthy lifestyle is taught by Esther and Jerry Hicks in their book, Ask and It Is Given. Find a beautiful box and put a label on it that reads, whatever is contained in this box is. Then begin clipping pictures, ads, and other images of those things you want to bring into your life. Place each clipping in the box and feel the feeling of owning it, using it, and enjoying it. The Sedona Method by Hale Dwoskin. Okay, let me check that page real quick, 117, 118. See what we can see. Okay, I guess it's just described. I thought there was a diagram to go with it. Okay, next time in Principle 57, you get what you focus on. That'll be next time. Please remember to support the show, like, comment, share, subscribe. Donations, Venmo, Stormer Show, any and all support that this show receives is truly and greatly appreciated. Those with the willingness to do so, you may donate to my Venmo, Stormer Show. Thank you for any and all support that this show receives. It is truly and very much appreciated. Thank you for every follow on TikTok and every subscription on YouTube. Sleep tight, have a good night, and I've been your host, Stormer Show, signing out and signing off. Thank you so much for watching.